Sheryl Swoopes, she can't not try to light a fire involving Caitlin Clark. She can't just be good. She's trolling Caitlin Clark again, this time by celebrating the arrival of Paige Beck.
Sheryl Swoopes just made a bold move without saying a single word. After her exit from the WNBA, she showed up on Gilbert Arenas' podcast wearing a Paige Buchers t-shirt. At first glance, it might seem like a shout-out to a rising star, but it wasn't really about Paige. It was a subtle jab at Caitlin Clark, cleverly masked as support for someone else. Let's be real. If there's one thing Swoopes has been consistent with lately, it's her ongoing effort to undermine everything Clark achieves.
With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player set it.
Okay.
Right.
Because let's face it, the brighter Caitlin Clark shines, the more it seems to unsettle a few former stars who aren't quite ready to share the spotlight. And Swoopes, instead of lifting up the next generation, keeps choosing bitterness. She's not passing the torch. She's clutching it like it's tied to her pension. But fans aren't fooled. We see the pattern, and it's starting to feel more desperate with each move.
We saw her get replaced during the Fever game for the Dallas Wings commentary team last year because of words and the hate she had towards Caitlin Clark. And it was just one thing after another. I said yesterday, even Stephen A. Smith crushed her last year.
This isn't about boosting Paige, and it's definitely not about growing the game. It's just another attempt to push that tired, worn-out narrative that Caitlin Clark doesn't belong. And let's be honest, it's getting old real fast.
Because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
Caitlin didn't chase the spotlight. She earned it with record-breaking stats, steady brilliance, and a calm confidence you just can't teach. Her rise wasn't built on media hype or political noise. It was fueled by pure skill. No theatrics, no drama, just straight-up dominance. And if you're tired of seeing WNBA veterans play gatekeeper with moves like this, drop a CC for MVP in the comments. Because this isn't just shady, it's calculated, and we're not here for it.
While Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark.
What is she doing wrong? What more do you want from Caitlin Clark? Seriously, what more do you want from her? She's focusing on the game. She lifted her team up, got them to the playoffs, won Rookie of the Year, and then also is denouncing racial tensions when she's asked about it. I'm sorry, I don't see anything more that Caitlin Clark should have done or could have done.
Let's not fool ourselves. This beef didn't start yesterday. Swoopes had Caitlin Clark on her radar long before she ever stepped onto a pro court. This isn't some one-off misunderstanding or a single quote taken out of context. It's been a full-blown campaign. Consistent comments, sharp critiques, and subtle jabs, all designed to chip away at the spotlight Clark has clearly earned.
She was remarkable on top of the fact that she had to deal with so much hate when she got to the WNBA.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the...
From throwing shade during Clark's historic college run to downplaying her impact on the league before she was even drafted, Swoopes has made her position loud and clear. Remember when she tried to dismiss Caitlin's record-breaking NCAA tournament performance? Or when she got pulled from commentary gigs because of her anti-Clark attitude? Yeah, it got so blatant that even Stephen A. Smith had to step in and say, "Okay, Sheryl, this is getting ridiculous."
It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand.
That's not just someone dropping a hot take. That's someone running with an agenda. When your criticism is so loud it gets you pulled off air by the networks, yeah, something's definitely off. What we're seeing isn't honest analysis. It's professional insecurity in disguise. Swoopes isn't just bothered that Caitlin Clark is good. She's scared that Clark might be better. Better ratings, better game, and a better future for the WNBA.
That's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should, The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
Caitlin Clark's rookie season has already outshined some of the most legendary campaigns in WNBA history, including Swoopes' own MVP run. That's not shade. That's just the stats. But instead of celebrating the rise of a once-in-a-generation talent, Swoopes has made herself Clark's loudest critic, not out of love for the game, but out of a need for control. Caitlin's success is rewriting the narrative, and Swoopes can't stand the fact that she's no longer the one holding the pen.
Wake up and be mad. Never forget, in Swoopes' MVP season, she averaged less points, assists, and rebounds than Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Caitlin Clark's rookie year was quite a bit better than Sheryl Swoopes' MVP season.
So what do you do when your legacy feels threatened? You cling to relevance. And what better way to get your name back in the spotlight than by taking shots at the most talked about player in the game?
No, Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
Which brings us right back to the t-shirt stunt. Swoopes walking in with Paige Bucker's name on her chest, like it was just a fashion choice. Please, she knew exactly what she was doing. That wasn't a tribute to a rising star. It was a calculated move. A quiet but clear message stitched into cotton. I'll support a white player, just not that white player.
What are you doing? Look at this. Just stays, man. Were y'all talking about Caitlin Clark at this very moment? She knows what she's doing.
Let's not forget, Swoopes has never shown this kind of support for Paige before. But the moment Caitlin Clark starts dominating headlines, suddenly Paige is the new poster girl. Give us a break. The move was painfully transparent. Paige Bueckers fits the mold that the WNBA's legacy insiders prefer: politically vocal, socially aligned, and someone they can shape. Caitlin, on the other hand, doesn't fit that mold. She doesn't play the politics, doesn't chase the causes. She just plays hard, relentlessly, and brilliantly.
Now, I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl's shirt. You see that? But the girl from the Midwest, y'all just happen to hate her completely.
And that terrifies people like Sheryl Swoopes because Caitlin Clark doesn't need their approval. She doesn't need to play by their rules. She's rewriting the game entirely.
The only problem with this is, and this has been the problem the whole time with the Paige-Caitlin comparison, Paige is an activist basketball player just like these old WNBA players that's been in the league. All right? They're shilling she's all up in all the social stuff. And so that's why they're letting her in. That's why they're cool with her.
So let's not pretend this was about Paige. This was a drive-by subtweet in t-shirt form. It's the oldest trick in the book. Pit women against each other to make a statement you're too afraid to say out loud. But here's the thing. Fans are smarter now. They've seen Swoopes' history, the digs, the pattern. So when she throws on that shirt, they don't see support. They see pettiness. They see projection. They see someone still not over being replaced as the face of women's basketball.
The reason that Caitlin Clark is getting all of this attention is because she is an anomaly. She is a phenomenal player. And Paige Bueckers is also a phenomenal player, but it just isn't the same. She doesn't do the same things. She doesn't do the things that have never been seen.
And the saddest part is, Paige Bueckers deserves better than to be used as a pawn in someone else's vendetta. She's a great player in her own right. She doesn't need to be weaponized against Caitlin Clark just to help someone else make a point.
We want to see Caitlin Clark and we want to see Paige Bueckers.
Caitlin scored more points per game, but Paige was more efficient.
In the end, this all comes down to one thing. Caitlin Clark's success is inevitable, and no amount of shade is going to change that. So Sheryl, you can wear all the shirts you want, but the numbers, the fans, and the future are all wearing one name, and it's Clark.
They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit.
Let's just get straight to it. Sheryl Swoopes isn't mad because Caitlin Clark is overrated. She's mad because Caitlin Clark is undeniable, and that more than anything has exposed some deep insecurities in people who once controlled the conversation. When someone new walks into the room and starts commanding attention without begging for it, without playing by the usual rules, the gatekeepers get nervous. That's where we are with Sheryl Swoopes and the WNBA Old Guard.
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game.
Rather than acknowledging Clark's undeniable influence, Swoopes is pulling stunts, wearing a Paige Bueckers shirt like it's subtle. But we all see it for what it is. A cheap deflection, a passive-aggressive jab dressed up as support. It's a move born from discomfort, not celebration. And the worst part? Swoopes thinks fans are too naive to catch the pattern. But we do. We always do.
What happened is Caitlin Clark in her sophomore year and really in her junior year just started excelling and doing things that nobody had ever seen a female basketball player do. Like nobody had consistently been shooting these from the logo pass.
The uncomfortable truth here is that Caitlin Clark has done more in one season to elevate the WNBA than many veterans did in their entire careers. That's not shade, it's just reality. We're talking sold-out games, record-breaking viewership, massive revenue jumps, and jersey sales that even top NBA players can't match. She's sparking passion in places the league never reached. Iowa gyms are now filled with kids who didn't even know what the WNBA was before Clark came on the scene. That's not hype, that's impact. And no t-shirt can erase that. At some point, we have to be honest. This constant undermining of Caitlin Clark is less about her flaws and more about others' fear of fading relevance. Swoopes doesn't want to confront the fact that Clark is not just one of the greats. She's already standing shoulder to shoulder with them, and in some metrics, surpassing them. That's tough to accept for someone whose identity is tied to being the pioneer. But being a legend doesn't mean tearing down the next one on their way up.
There's so many players who cite you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college. What's that next step like for her?
You know, next steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W. And then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way. But, continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her and being prepared as she can be for next season.
So as the noise keeps building and the haters keep chirping, remember this: legends don't need to beg for validation. They prove it every night on the court. And Caitlin Clark? She's doing just that, breaking records, filling seats, and leaving behind a trail of silenced critics who still can't believe what they're witnessing. Sheryl Swoopes can wear all the t-shirts she wants. Angel Reese can fire off all the shades she wants. But while they're busy playing social media chess, Caitlin Clark is out here playing basketball and winning. So if you're riding with Caitlin, if you're tired of the fake rivalries and the spin, drop a CC for MVP in the comments right now. Let the league, the media, and all the doubters know Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the story, she is the story, and she's just getting started. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.